Hello everybody and welcome back to the Autobrite podcast. As you can see, Mark's not in control today. It's me, Dale, and I'm here with something different today. 3 new people in the podcast room and we're all talking about bikes today. So if you're interested in this podcast, keep listening. So just to start on me here, we've got Leah from Gear to Go. Hi Leah.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very good.
Are you hungover?
Not too bad.
So
It's been worse.
It's been worse.
It's been a lot worse.
We'll get to know more about Leah as the podcast goes on. Opposite me, we've got Mr. Nige Taylor from Taylor Made Detailing. Hi, Nige.
Good morning.
How are you?
All good, thank you.
Good weekend?
Yeah, I was at BSB at Donington, so I managed to keep out the sun. Being a ginger, it's not the best, is it?
I thought there was a heater.
And to the other side of me, I've got a good pal of mine, Darren. He was an instructor, advanced rider, and more qualifications than the DVSA, I think. Hi, Darren.
Hi, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, good. You looking thrilled to be here?
Yeah, very excited. Load of papers in front of me.
Yeah, Darren's actually the only one who's really prepared.
I didn't think we were on a course.
Darren was the only one who was sent anything.
There's an exam at the end of it, you know.
So, before we go any further, just a quick disclaimer. There might be a few words in here that you may not want your children to hear. So, if you have got young people around, maybe you're best ushering them out the room at the moment. Because we've got Leah here and she's got a right potty mouth. Aren't you, Leah?
Not apologising.
Listen for the cow noise.
It's what it is.
Okay, so I'll go around the room and you can tell people about yourself. So we'll start with you, Darren. Do you want to introduce yourself, what you do?
Yeah. Obviously, I'm a part-time motorcycle instructor. I work for Kev Bryan, which is obviously BMW rider training up by Bet 365. Been doing it for about 18 years. Again, it's just part-time. From there, I've done other advanced riding, but I've got a full-time job as well. But obviously, this would be passion.
Cool. And Nige Taylor, people would have heard you on the podcast before when we brought out the bike range, but if you haven't, just who you are, where you're from, what you do.
So I run and I own Taylor Made Detailing, which is what I specialise in is motorcycle detailing. I'm also Autobrite approved, and I'm the only approved guy on bikes, I think, that you lot have got. I've been running that full time now for about 5 years. And yeah, it's busy. I like to think I'm one of the best in the country. Probably not, but I like to think so.
Everyone likes to think that about themselves.
Best in Stoke.
I'd say you definitely.
Best in Stoke.
I'd say you definitely, yeah.
I'm the only one who's Stoke.
I was going to say best in Stoke. You beat me to it. Cool. What about you, Leah? Where you are, where you come from, what you do?
Don't know half the time, but I've just opened a brand new clothing store called Gear to Go in Macclesfield with one of my best friends who is more obnoxious than
you.
More obnoxious than me. Yeah, actually, it is possible. And I used to work at Hunt's Motorcycles for about 5.5, 6 years. Went to a dreaded word. Went and worked somewhere else.
You can't say it.
I'm not saying that. Went and worked somewhere else. And then decided to sort of set up on my own, do something good.
Cool.
So, we set up a bit of a biker cafe, lounge, little area you can come watch MotoGP, BSB, all that stuff.
Excellent.
Get some good gear.
And the coffee's ace, because I've had the coffee there. It's really nice.
You didn't offer me one when I went.
Didn't you get one,
No,
Nige?
no.
Wow.
I just got shown the door.
What a loser.
To be fair, we just bullied you for about 40 minutes when you came through.
They could have saved yourself some money going Leah's shop instead of watching it live.
Yeah.
You didn't clean my bike on the way in, that's why.
You didn't have it then, though, did you?
Wow. So we've got a few topics run over, guys, and some questions and different things we can talk about along the way. So we've got a few topics handed to us, like touring. Any of you guys do any touring? And if you do, what do you take? Where'd you go? How'd you pack your bike? Let's just delve into that a little bit. So, Darren.
Well, you and I toured the North Coast 500 last year.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
And it rained every day.
I nearly said a different word than rain, but I forgot I was on the radio. Yeah, it rained every day, pretty much. Kitted up with as much stuff as we could carry.
Yeah.
Had a good time, didn't we? Apart from trying to share that caravan.
Yeah, we won't talk. That's the thing we don't talk about.
Yeah, well,
Is that a top and tail moment?
yeah, that's it. That's another podcast.
Well, we end up paying for a caravan, but then having 2 hotels. And we'll leave it at that.
That's another podcast, but you have to subscribe to that one. It's £10 an hour. So yeah, pretty much doing a bit of that, and obviously touring a bit around Wales.
Yeah, we've done a few, haven't we?
Yeah, been good at it.
Yeah, it has. Well, you, Nige, when's the last time you did a little bike tour?
Blimey. Probably about
camping or whatever.
7-8 years ago. Went to Germany, Harz Mountains.
Nice.
There was a group of us because at the time I was friend with a lot of army lads that were based over in, you'll have to excuse my pronunciation, Fallinborstel. So they're based there. It wasn't like a full-on tour, so we could take...
Fallinborstel, is that like...
Fallinborstel. It's basically an army barracks.
It's a prison.
Is that, yeah, that's right.
When you went there, you thought it was.
Was it a youth detention centre? Is that what you're trying to say?
Pretty much.
When you were younger, you got sent to Germany.
In the slammer.
Still got the tag on.
I heated it up this morning to take it off. So yeah, we went there, but with the squaddy lads being as they are with organisation and admin, we had like a Luton van, so we could just dump all the bags and stuff in there, and we're just free to ride, bare bikes, not bareback, but bare bikes.
So more glamping than touring, then.
Pretty much, but we were proper camping when we got into the Harz Mountains, and if you're ever in Germany, that is a great place to go and have a look because the roads are mint. But not only that, the riders and drivers are more considerate than we've got over here. Yeah. Like they actually move out your way, and
I think they are in most of Europe, aren't they, than they are over here.
It's like a different world, it really is. Better than here.
We've got better potholes, though.
I bet we have.
Seen about 400 on the way down from Macclesfield.
Stoke has bad for potholes.
And that's just an Autobrite car park.
We strike Darren off this podcast. What about you, Leah? You done any touring, or when's the last thing you did? Anything? Camping, festivals?
I lived in Germany for like 4.5 years, so I lived in Stuttgart, which was near all the military bases also. So I used to do a lot of the Black Forest and bits and bobs, and had a BMW over there, so S1000, so you couldn't pack anything. It's pretty much a backpack, and that was it. And just used to come back to very, very interesting. Through Belgium, back to Manchester quite a lot.
Cool.
Just come home, get drunk, go back. Little thing of shame about 4 days later where you were just like, I don't want to do this. It's a fucking 24-hour ride.
Wow.
When you can't remember the photos, that's when you got a problem, isn't it?
The photos are just, you just got to delete all that, haven't you? You don't want proof.
Depends if you went live or not, doesn't it? Okay, cool. What about track days? Any of you guys done track days?
Yeah, I've done track days. Yeah. Yeah, good crack.
I did one part of Kev's training school. We did one at Alton Park. That was good. Funny enough, it rained again. I think I just go out in the rain. That's all they ever do. But that was good. That was good crack. We had a good laugh. And it was good camaraderie between everybody.
So for someone who's thinking about doing a track day who hasn't done one yet, would you say they're worth doing? Did you learn anything from them?
I think from the bikes themselves, you learn, as long as you understand the rules, because obviously the person in front...
I understand rules, I just don't like following them.
You've got to be aware of the person in front. I think they're a good experience. Yeah, definitely good experience.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, 100%. I mean, let's face it, it's the safest place to go fast, isn't it? And it's legal. So you want to go and rip around on the roads, fair dues, but the risks are massive. Gravel, crap on the road, cars
losing
coming away. Yeah, losing your licence, sheep walking out on you, all sorts. You go on track, everything's going one way. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are...
Well, you hope everything's going one way.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest, there are, pardon me French, dickheads on there that will cut you up and not give you any room. But,
I didn't mean to.
But you got to get into your head, I think, ride to your own ability. I mean, I go in novice group because I'm not there to... I'll never be Valentino, but you know what I mean. Go do my own thing, do a few laps pretty quick, and then just chill for a bit. You haven't got the pressure of fast people, pushing you or cutting you up and stuff like that. Unfortunately, when they're really busy, some of the fast group riders will go into like the lower group because there's no space in the fast group, stuff like that. And yes, they are a lot quicker than you, and they are better riders, but they will dive bomb you. And if you're new to it, it's your first one, it's probably a little bit unnerving. So if you go with somebody, go with like a good mate or something like that you can go out together and just do your own thing.
Yeah.
Good experience.
It is a great experience.
I think that goes the same for the road though, don't it? Ride at your own pace and do your own thing.
Definitely. When you start pushing your limits, that's when stuff's going to go wrong, isn't it?
Yeah. Cool. What about you, Lee? You done any track days or?
I've never. No. We've been sort of talking about doing a couple from the shop, sort of taking a little group down and doing a few, because we used to do for hunts, we used to do the Ron Haslam ones.
Oh, yeah.
The Honda school. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, we've not sorted anything, but we keep talking about maybe.
If you get enough interest.
Yeah, maybe.
So there you go. Give Leah a shout if you're interested in a track day and you're local.
Have you done one, Dale?
No.
No?
No.
The Enfield, not Hackett?
Wow. You've been waiting from the moment that question come out, haven't you? Get a digging at my Enfield.
Well, I was just asking the
Just a
question.
disclaimer, Nige doesn't like Royal Enfield for some reason.
It's not that I don't like them, it's just that you've got one, so I can take the mick.
It's the only bike you can get your knee down without actually leaning it, isn't it?
That's because it keeps falling over.
It's a little bit little.
It's just the right size for me. It looks like a big bike for me, though, doesn't it? My height. Brill. So, moving on, biker calves. I've got a few questions like where decent biker calves to go. Well,
No idea.
There's none in Macclesfield.
No, there's nothing in Macclesfield. No, Superbike Factory. I heard they've got.
Crash and burn.
Well, yeah, obviously there's Leahs Place, geared to go. Tell a little bit about what you do at your place, Leah. Coffees, cakes, whatever.
Do, yeah. Well, you just said them. We pretty much do coffees and cakes and abuse and
If you're a snowflake, don't go Leah's Place because you'll just get destroyed.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea. But no, we've just got a very organic way to selling biker clothing, really. We like to obviously get to know the customers, have a laugh.
Where's it based?
Macclesfield.
Crash and burn. Whereabouts?
It's right in the centre of Macclesfield. So if you just go past Macclesfield train station, going towards Leek, it's basically on the corner before you turn off the Leek.
We'll leave all the details to where it is in the description at the bottom of the podcast.
If we've got to fill 45 minutes, I can give exact turn by turn directions back from here.
No, we're all right. What about you, Nige? Where your favourite places go?
Well, you've been, haven't you? Ponderosa.
Yeah, I was there yesterday.
Yeah, the Ponderosa's good. I mean, years back, like the Raven used to be really, really good, and it still gets packed now. I tend to avoid it, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of, shall we say, police presence. So it's just, I mean, if you just slightly speed, they're going to have you. A lot of plain clothes and stuff lying there. So Raven's still all right for a ride out. There's the K1 Calf near Toxter, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's all right. There's a few. I'm not one that goes to like designated biker, meets or anything like
Just
that.
whatever takes your fancy.
Yeah, just go out for a spin. I'll tell you where there is a good one. You might have to remind me of the name of it. Is it Chain and Sprocket Calf?
That's a new one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Wales way. I can't remember where it is
I've
exactly.
not been to that, but it looks
Not
really
sure.
good.
That is really, really good.
Yeah.
What's that really
Cracking
cool
breakfast.
one? Old Stores?
Old, yeah, they're moles.
Yeah.
Old, that's
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
ones, but yeah, that's quite cool.
Cracking brekkie there as well, isn't it?
Yeah. There's a few popping up now, different ones what I've seen, like one called the Early Rag, that looks quite cool, and Bafflehausen.
Yeah.
There's quite a few.
There's the Yonderman as well.
Yeah, Yonderman's
That's a
quite
good one.
Yeah.
It's a good ride out as well.
That, what's it called? Bobhead as well. They've just opened.
Yeah.
North Manchester, haven't they?
Never heard of them.
You're not? They run Dragon's
you
Den.
don't get Manchester way, do you?
No, not really.
Too
No.
far for him, that is. Go south.
Still stopped over there waiting for the ducks to cross.
If it's beyond 20 mile, I won't go.
Thing is, Nige doesn't go beyond his drives. Can't get his bike started.
Oh,
Surprised you got to mine. Mine's like...
I was in the van though, wasn't I?
Oh, yeah.
You had a really good ride out last Thursday, didn't you, Nige?
Yeah, I was all geared up, ready to go, and then the bike wouldn't bloody start. Just kept spinning over. I think it's the quick shifter playing up, so... You took great enjoyment, didn't you?
Well, my Enfield still started up.
Yeah, with the handle in the side. Bum.
Well, I think it did. It's at I hope it's at Darren's garage.
Yeah, it was in my garage.
Was it?
Yeah.
Blimey.
Was.
Sorry. Still is in my garage.
What about you? What about you, Darren? Where your place you like to visit?
Well, like
For
I
a
say,
coffee?
you've got the standard place, haven't you? The Ponderosa, you've got Dom's Calf and places like that. I'm not a big fan, a bit like Nige, I'm not a big fan of going to bike meets. I prefer to go out and do my own thing.
Yeah.
I do turn up quite a lot at the American Embassy. Quite a bit. You know, the one with the golden arches?
Oh yeah.
I tend to go there quite a bit.
Yeah, just get a brew.
Yeah.
I'm getting past.
Oh, she's clicked.
The
That took a
drive-through's
minute.
the drive-through's not so good on my bike, but hey, it is what it is.
You've got to put your feet down with yourself, haven't you?
If I didn't stop at McDonald's on the NC500, if he passed one, he was sulking for a day.
They don't actually let you through the drive-throughs, do they, on a bike?
They're not. Never
Somebody-
tried, to be
somebody
honest.
I
told
thought you
us
had to
the
have a
other
cup
day.
holder.
You can do it if you've got a cup holder.
Can you?
And I noticed I've been on eBay, I've noticed on eBay you can get a cup holder for the GS.
Well, like on the tank ring sort of thing.
But no, on the frame. So I could go
Ludicrous.
through, buy it, pop it in, drive round, drink it.
I'm gonna get a dropped handlebar like bar end. With like,
You want a tray
I'm
on
I want
fabricated.
I want a gin and tonic holder on one
And one
side.
straw.
Wow.
I don't know where you put your Big Mac meal though. That's the only issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just put it straight down.
Where's your favourite places, Dale?
I like going to a place called Sleep Airport. I was actually there. I met you there.
We were
didn't
there
I?
You don't take it to go, then it's just.
Yeah. So as I was
Push
saying,
everything off the
22
table.
miles from me, it's a bit far.
so as I was saying, Sleep Airport.
And it was at that moment.
Yeah, it's just in Wem. It's a good run out. Nice roads around there, just outside Shrewsbury. If you don't know where it is, not far from the Raven. There's this place in Maxfield where if Leah's not doing the coffees, then the coffees are meant. If Leah's doing the
To be
coffees,
fair,
then
yeah.
they're all right.
Usually that's like the level of ultimate abuse is when I have to make the coffees. You said it looked like a spat in it last time.
Yeah, it did.
Didn't just look
You know
like
when you just got that single finger. It wasn't frothy all round. It was just a little island of froth in the middle.
A nice foamy one.
So if you're coming off the Cat and Fiddle, then yeah, pop in Leahs Place.
It wasn't a Green Island, was it?
Oh.
It could have been a bit. Yeah, it was the biggest coffee I'd had, but that chew.
it's tiring making tons of them. Wait, they're like,
Grim.
It was one of them new oyster coffees. You have to slurp it.
You have to neck it at the end.
it's high end, my places.
So yeah, if you're not sure where to go as a bike calf, there's loads. If you just go on Google Maps and just have a look around, just pop in anywhere really.
There's a website basically where you can just
Yeah,
look
there is
bike
UK
caps.
bike calves,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Is that on Facebook as well, that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Are you on there? If not,
I
you need
seem
to
to
yourself
feel
on
like they either reached out to us or we reached out to them, and I've not replied yet. So yeah.
there. So no then. Great.
I mean, hopefully after this podcast,
Yeah.
with all the fame and fortune that it's going to bring me.
As you can see, Leah's at the top of the game with marketing. That's why she brought Ant along.
No, he was just at the OnlyFans.
Okay. Say no more. Okay, we've had a few questions as well about solo and group riding. Which do you prefer? Which do you prefer, Leah? Solo, group, or a bit of both, depending on how you feel?
I like both,
Yeah.
because obviously you can ride how you want to ride on your own.
Yeah.
And I sort of hate feeling like I'm herding cats, like trying to and I hate looking over my shoulder the whole time trying to see if somebody's died or dropped off or something behind me. So it's always a little bit stressful. We do a lot of rides from the shop as well, so we do a lot of like gear to go rides, and I never have as much fun in terms of my riding. I have as much fun in terms of going out.
Yeah.
Like we have such a laugh, and
So it's more for the social side when you group
but
ride,
it's a
isn't it?
totally different kind of ride than if I go on my own and just do what I want to do.
Yeah.
So
What about you, Nige?
A bit like Leah, I don't mind either. But I'll only sort of really go with lads that I know really well.
Yeah.
So if there's a group of us,
So on your own then, because you've got no friends.
I'll come with you, Nige.
I'm trying to be clean on this podcast and not swear here. So yeah, I haven't got many
strikes.
friends. They're associates.
Ginger people don't have friends.
Well, they just sort of cling to you, don't they, sometimes? They feel sorry for you.
They congregate usually. You get like packs of gingers, don't you?
Yeah. You can swear now.
My bar girl Jenny is going to absolutely murder me. She's like the most ginger person ever.
That's it. I mean, the army lads used to give me a load of shit. They really did. Like, they'd call me, I'll say it, fox piss was one. They used to say, oh, you gingers get them wet, they smell like Hanley Bush shelter, all this sort of stuff. So I'm quite thick-skinned to it, you know, I don't give a monkeys. But they're a good bunch, there's a bit of banter in it. But regardless of riding, I mean, you always get like a group, and you'll always have like a different level, won't you, a rider? Yeah. So you'll have some that are really fast, really smooth, safe as possible. You'll get the idiots that overtake everywhere, double whites, Browservilles. I'm not interested in going out with people like that anymore. Used to be.
That's a bit rude, isn't it? I was going to say I'd go out with you if you needed a friend, but you know, take it back now.
I mean, I like to ride, you know, spirited, shall we say.
Yeah.
But I'll just do my own thing, and if you go out on your own, brill, like Leah says, you can do what you want. You know, it's only yourself then you've got to really care for. But if I'm in with a few lads that I know, it's one of them where I don't have to look where they are. Yeah. Because, you know, if I'm that side, they're there. Yeah. And through the rank.
You build up a trust, don't you?
Yeah, you don't even need to look for them. You know where they're going to be. So I can't just stick it to a small group. I'm not into these big group ride-outs where they've got marshals and they're blocking traffic and stuff. It doesn't do it for me at all. Yeah. I'm probably a bit selfish like that. I like to do my own thing or go with a few mates because I've not got many.
We'll be your friend.
You made two more today.
One.
Don't count me.
They're only pretending like we're in this room.
Only till it's over.
You've made no friends today.
Block.
What about you, Dan?
I'm not a big fan of group riding. Never have been. I don't like the egos that you get because obviously you go out with people and there's always people trying to keep up. Always get people trying to do a bit of showing off, showboating and stuff like that. Obviously you and I go out quite a bit together.
Do you have to wait for him?
Yeah. I just stop at the junctions all the time. I just leave my indicator on all the time for him. But I'm not a big fan of groups. I don't mind riding one or two people, selected people. But a bit like you, Nige, you want to ride with people you trust. Yeah. And if you can't trust them, then it's not comfortable.
You don't want to be having to mother them everywhere, do you?
No.
You're going out for a ride, so if you overtake and you've got the space and what have you, you go without hesitation because you've made your plan. Huh?
Who's Hugo? Is he one of your friends?
Hugo. You go.
He sounds a bit posh. Sounds a bit posh, be one of your friends. You're just a lad from Stoke.
I'm not even from Stoke, I'm from Stafford originally.
Oh, that's even worse.
Can you get worse?
Yeah, Macclesfield.
I'm not from Macclesfield. Can we just clear that up before?
It's going to be worse than Macclesfield, isn't it? Where are you from?
Sale.
Sale?
Yeah. Quite high end.
Get the brandy out.
Oh, can we?
That's what we think of Sale.
Can't believe that came from somebody from Stoke.
You ain't got a button low enough for Stoke, don't worry about
I don't have any buttons.
There you go, I've got that one.
Yeah, the other thing with riding in a group, the problem you've got is you get a lot of people don't tend to ride for themselves, do they? Somebody overtakes and they think, I've got to be with him.
Yeah.
I don't like any of that either.
No, you're then waiting for an accident to happen, aren't you?
Yeah.
They're going to come unstuck because you go into a corner, they tighten up, and the first thing they do is panic, stiffen up, reach for the brake, boom.
And they ride that close sometimes, they just end up ploughing into each other.
Yeah.
So it's not for me, but
strike.
Everybody's different.
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't mind either or. You know, I don't like big groups, but I don't mind a few people who I know.
Never seen you out with anybody down.
It's because I've got no friends. Well, it depends. If I go out on the Anfield, I can't go out with anyone because I've got to keep up.
You do know he had a satchel, don't you, when he had his Enfield? But he's now upgraded. He's gone to a rucksack.
It wasn't a satchel. It was a man bag.
Got to get with the leg bags. That's
it
what
was.
Everybody's
It was a leg bag.
It matched his seat.
Leg bags are cool.
It was a satchel.
No, I refused to stock them, and then I ended up selling about 6 in a row.
The worst thing, Leah, was it was in brown.
Oh, God.
Yeah, brown's cool.
Is that so you couldn't see all the tissues?
Wow.
Brown Kevlar jeans, brown leg back.
You're getting some hammer today, you are.
Could be worse. Could be ginger, though.
I was going to say, it's not just the ginger that's getting picked on.
Hey, what's Reese doing here? I've got one of the media guys in. Don't film Nigel's head. You'll just get the light bouncing off the top of it.
And say,
There we go.
it's bright red as well, I think, from Donington.
Thanks, Reese. Say hi to the camera, Reese. he'll edit that bit out. Okay, so we should crack on with some questions. We've had some questions in, so we should crack on with some questions. So the first one is from a mutual friend of ours, Nige, David Latham Heath.
Oh, yeah?
Thanks for this. Thanks for your question, Dave. Can Triumph Tigers do a wheelie?
Is that with you on it? Or someone else? Depends how many butties you got in your top box, doesn't it?
In my satchel.
Yeah, in your satchel. It goes round well on left-handers if it's leaning to the left, that bag, doesn't it?
And he has got a serious question. We're not answering that, Dave.
I have answered it.
He knows the answer.
If you read what I've written, I have answered.
Not with Dale on it.
That's the one.
That's very true. I can't even argue. So Dave loves detailing his bikes and does not spend a little more on quality products. But asks, what's the best course of action for those who are less interested or maybe on a tighter budget but still want their bikes looking fresh as possible? I think that's one for you, Nigel, isn't it?
Oh, blimey.
Muck off products, isn't it?
What? Where in this room?
Oh my!
Look at
OMG!
Can
the
we-
two faces.
Can we kick her out now?
Thanks for coming, Leah.
Do you stock them at your shop?
No.
That's how good they are.
Just put it in the coffees.
Oh,
Wow. That's your stockage price just gone up.
And it's just blimey.
I was only on 2% margin anyway. It's terrible.
Oh, that's a tough question. So someone who wants to keep on top of their bikes but on a budget.
Yeah.
Best way of answering it, I suppose, is if you could get some tuition, that'd be a good one. Or if you know somebody that's into it, I mean, you know, like yourself, like me, we'll give you a few pointers. You don't need to buy every single detailing product that's out there.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of BS, isn't there, in this game. And you can buy 10 products that say the same thing.
Yeah.
And
If you buy smart, you can buy multi-use products anyway. Like products will,
yeah.
You know, do.
I mean, for instance, like your extreme bike cleaner.
Yep.
If you're just like a guy that's going to clean it, a guy or girl, should I say, in the week, a quick wash off, then all you'll need really is like the degreaser if you've got chain driven bike, the extreme bike cleaner, so you won't need the citrus, the shampoo.
Yeah.
You could leave it at that. You know, use a drying towel, and that'd be all you need really, just for a quick maintenance wash.
Yeah.
So it'll cost you what, 30-ish quid,
Yeah.
something like that.
You'll get a few washes out of that, won't you?
Yeah. I mean, and you can go as anal as you want.
Yeah, if you want it
really.
looking really shiny, then you can go.
And there's a
Yeah,
massive
just
list in
polish
there of
and-
products that you can use, and you know it is an AD podcast, so you can use pretty much the entire range because most of them cross over, don't they?
Yeah.
If you use other brands, again, there's a massive market for it. But well, I'm not saying it because if you get done for any slander, I'm not in trouble here, am I?
We haven't said anything.
Well, no, I would use it.
That's just personal choice, though, ain't it, Nigel?
Yeah.
So we've got it. So yeah, there you go. You haven't got to spend a lot, have you? Just a few core products.
Yeah, to get going. I mean, if you want to up it, then you can go into like the different protection products, and you can spend a bloody fortune on the stuff.
Yeah.
But it will last you a long, long time because you don't need much of these products. The ones you're going to burn through quick are products like the degreaser, your shampoos, and your general bike cleaner.
Yeah, your cleaners, your polishes, you don't need polish it after every wash, do you?
No,
You don't need to protect it after
If you just want to add a little bit of sparkle to it, just use a QD.
Yeah.
I
That's
feel
the
a
simplest
little
way.
bit guilty about my bike being in the car park at the moment in the state that it's in. It's absolutely disgusting. Don't go out and look at it.
Mine's not much better. Mine's just caked in flies from the weekend.
Yeah, they backed into him.
Wow. Thanks for that. So we've had a Stuart Coppard. Could Autobrite do some kind of approval scheme that would be tied in with some training from Nige Taylor? Well, maybe we could. We'll have to have a chat about that, Nige.
Do you know something I don't?
I don't know. Okay, we've had a question in off Kev. How do I know what helmet is the correct size would be for me? That's one for you, Leah.
Your best bet is always going to be go to a shop to get sized up.
Yeah.
I mean, every single helmet has a different shell shape, it has a different shell size. Interior is going to be completely different on each one. For example, if you're like a medium, you're going to be in between sizes on certain models and brands and whatever. So obviously you can measure the top of your head, but it's completely useless when you're actually just ordering a helmet in. And you do have to get them as tight as possible. You have to let them break in, obviously, which I know people seem to hate. They all seem to come in and just want the loosest, most comfortable thing that fits on the head, like here and now.
Yeah.
But yeah, your best bet is always going to be to get somebody to literally rattle it around on your head, slap you around a bit in the shop, and just make sure that obviously if you did hit the deck in the shop.
So basically, you just ram the head into the wall. Yeah, that's perfect.
Just want to make sure.
Before you've paid, might I add.
That's how you ensure that the customer's going to buy.
There's the hamster cheeks, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Just looking for that.
You get everybody, I'm chewing the inside of my cheeks. You're like,
Stop
good.
eating.
So you recommend coming into your shop?
At my shop,
and
yeah.
try
I
one
mean,
on?
we size people better than anybody else.
What do you stock? What sort of brands do you stock at your place, Leah?
We can get hold of absolutely everything. In store at the minute, we've got Premier, Bell, HJC, AGV, Shark, and I'm running out of things. But we've sort of looking at either bringing in Arai or Shoeian.
Yeah.
One of the two. Unfortunately, I sort of made somebody else a stockist before I left, and now I'm not 100% sure if I can be a assured showy stockist. So just going to figure the little bits out on that.
T's and C's.
Yeah, all of that stuff. So
you got something for everyone then, from like a lower end budget, if someone's on a tighter budget,
everything.
up to someone who wants to spend whatever.
So I mean, really, I can kit anybody out from like your £80 starting, really starter sort of helmet to like your 1,500 quid pista that won't fit your head because it's designed for Valentino Rossi. But you know, if you want to look cool, it's all good.
Cool. And obviously, you've got to make sure the thing, you'll know about this, Darren, mate, you've got to make sure they're approved to a certain standard for being on the road.
Yeah, you've got the EC rating, haven't you? You used to have the old kite mark, but if your helmet's got a kite mark on, you want to actually take it in the shop and get it changed. and it's probably end up having the old bar.
So it's got a kite mark on, it's as old as you. That's what
exactly,
you're saying.
Yeah. With the old bar and buckle. So it's a standard, isn't it? The EC 2205 moving to 2206.
Pretty soon, the 2206.
I think it was 2024, but it's coming through now.
Yeah.
So you'll see an increase in cost of helmets because it's a new standard.
Right.
So, it's an important piece of kit, and it's the most important thing you can buy.
Yeah, can't put a price on it really, can you?
You can't fix your brain. You can repair broken bones, but you can't fix your brain.
The 2206 standard is actually like a load closer to the FIM standard for the racing lids as well. So actually having a visor that's completely part of the safety of the helmet, and then also having I think it's 8 or 10, don't quote me on it, more testing points.
Yeah, we're getting quick on it now.
Yeah, there you go. Like that, you're
Has she
fired.
done the homework?
Fired from your own shot. But extra testing points that aren't actually specified. It used to be obviously specified as your impact points, and now they can choose anywhere on the helmet to try and break it. So you can't get cheap helmet brands trying to build up specific areas so that it can obviously pass through.
That's got to be better for any rider, honest.
It's better for everybody. Yeah. I
100%.
mean, who wants that on the head?
Cool.
And it is one use piece.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Accidents, drop it, replace it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've had Fran, they've always wanted to do some advanced training, but feel they would not be good enough as they're not a fast rider. What would you suggest? So that's one for you, Darren.
Advanced riding isn't riding fast.
Okay.
Advanced riding's is polishing what you already know.
Yeah. I think that's where people get confused because they think, I've got to be faster from advanced.
Yeah, no. It's not a license to go fast or break the law, because anybody can do the 60s, 50s, 30s and 40s on what they're doing now. But all Advanced does is it takes what you know and then polishes it to make you better. A lot of it's about observations, positioning, what you see, the gear you're in, seeing as far ahead as you can, reading the road, reading the hazards basically before they come. So it's nothing to do with riding fast. It's taking somebody's skill and making them better. Anybody can do it.
So if you fancy doing it, just get yourself picked up then. That's
You've got a number of routes to take. You've got the DVSA ERS scheme, the Enhanced Rider Scheme, through an approved training body.
Yep.
You've got the ones I'm involved in. You've got the ROSPA and the IEM.
Yep.
Where you get one-to-one tuition with a tutor.
Yeah.
Or an observer, depending on what they call themselves, and they develop your skills based on some sort of record card system. Working on different points to move it forward.
So if people are local, how do they get involved with it if they want to, approach it locally?
Well, if you want to approach it locally, again, depends on which route you want to take. If I was going to describe it, the ERS Enhanced Rider Scheme is post-test training.
Okay.
And then that gives you the basic groundwork to move on to ROSPA or IM. So it's basically the next step.
Okay.
What we find is there's a lot of people once they've passed the test, they think that's it. But you're always learning. Every time you ride, you're always learning. There's always something you can pick up on. I've been riding a long time, and I always challenge myself. But that's a personal goal that I've got. But the local there's a lot of local schools, the IEM, Ross, but they're all local. There are some others.
Yeah. So is there websites or anything they can just go on and have a look?
Just go on the website. If you go on
ROSPA
ROSPA or the government website, they'll point you the direction. And there are a lot of clubs out there that give you support. They'll help you train, and they even have evening functions, regular meetings, ride outs.
Cool.
So, and there's no pressure.
So if you've got no friends, you can.
So if you want the number,
sign up then.
if you want the number, Nigel, I'll give it to you before the end of the show.
Drop it in my DMs.
Okay, so Simon's got a question. If I have my bike ceramic coated, do I still need to ACF 50 or whatever protection through winter? That'll be one for you, Nigel.
You can do. I mean, personally, if I'm doing a ceramic coating job, bolts, fasteners, banjo bolts, disc bolts, things like that. Yeah, on your brake calipers. Don't tell me you don't know what they are.
What's a brake caliper?
He's talking to Darren now.
They have brakes.
The little bolts that go through into the top of the caliper, so your fluid comes through it and it bolts it.
Yeah, you still know. It's just
carry on, straight over. So those things,
Is that a nipple?
No, that's where you bleed it.
Leah knows what you mean now.
I'm with you. I'm following.
So I always brush.
What do you do to him?
Right, Leah's on a tractor.
She's gone. She's gone, hasn't she? So I will always brush some onto these bolts and fixings, so I don't confuse her, to stop any corrosion. Ceramic is pretty good, but it's never actually been fully tested through like a winter on a bike, has it?
No.
So exposed metals and stuff, I'll always brush either an ACF 50 or an XCP, something like that, onto those areas just to give it a little bit more. As for anything else like the wheels, stuff like that, if you've ceramic coated them, then you don't need to ACF it, because all you're doing then is creating a tacky barrier for the dirt to stick to.
You're attracting it, aren't you?
Yeah, you're better just to leave the ceramic there. It repels more dirt than any ACF or anti-corrosion product.
Cool. So if someone does want a ceramic coating on their bike and they within reach of you, Nigel, how do they get in touch?
You can get in touch with me either on Facebook, TaylorMade Detailing, Instagram, TaylorMade Detailing 46, same on Twitter, or my website is www.tmdetailing.co.uk.
And you only use the best ceramics as well, Nigel, don't you?
I am, yeah, AD approved. I was one of the first ones when
Still the only one.
Am I?
Still the only bike one, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, and I do full bike coatings as well, so it's airbrushed onto engine cases and stuff like that. And anyone that starts doubting it needs to go and check some of the little vids that I've put on Facebook and stuff, where 2 years on, even the 3-year coating is highly active.
Well, you see a lot of other detailers sort of following you, don't you? Because like you, as far as I'm aware, you're one of the first ones who introduced airbrushing with ceramic coatings, and then all of a sudden, loads of other detailers are airbrushing now.
There's other companies as well that do it, you know, and they have lovely posh studios. It must cost an arm and a leg to run, and I work out my little timber garage.
Yeah.
But I bet my work's better.
Yeah.
Without sounding cocky.
Your reviews speak for themselves, don't they?
I hope so, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But yeah, it is, isn't it? It's the same as everything. You set something up, others will copy and follow, won't they? Yeah. It's just the way it is, isn't it?
And there's variations on ceramic coatings. If someone just wants like a 12-month ceramic, you can offer that.
Yeah.
We do a product for a 12-month ceramic.
You can have your
Leah sells
12-month
that in the
one,
shop,
yeah.
and
do
if you
indeed.
someone wanted to do it themselves, you could, put that on Leah's Place. And
that is mega easy to apply, isn't
yeah,
it?
it
You know,
is.
it's
And
literally
you
a
get good
wipe on,
results off it
wipe
as well,
off.
don't you?
Yeah.
And then obviously you got the more professional going up to the 3-year light.
Yeah.
What you do, and then the 5-year pro.
Yep.
Which obviously the 5-year pro and the 3-year, probably you need some experience with ceramics too.
It helps, yeah. I mean, there's nothing stopping people from doing it, but, you know.
You could have a go with the light. I think you'd be...
Light's
more
easiest,
comfortable.
more
The pro,
forgiving.
You definitely want...
Yeah,
some
it's
kind of
definitely more
training.
forgiving.
Can you make an absolute mess of it if you were me, for example?
You've got to...
Well, you could, Leah, because
Yeah, that's what I mean.
what banjo bolts are.
Yeah, she's going to ceramic coat the tyres, isn't she?
Are you not meant to?
The seat, the
personal
foot
choice.
pegs, the grips.
Thought it was the whole thing.
Well, I want it to bead. You can make a mess of it, yeah. You can, can't you? You can put it on and not buff it off properly, so then you get what they call high spots in it. So you'll look at the bike, particularly on dark colours, it's a lot more prominent. So you'll see it and it looks like a smudge, like a thumbprint or something. That's a high spot. So that's why you've got to concentrate on your wiping, levelling down and buffing.
Hey up.
What's beeping?
The camera's gone off. We've run out of battery.
Your head's safe, Nige.
Yeah.
Can we crop this one?
Cool. So, yeah, ceramic coating's well worth it then, Nige.
In my opinion, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
that's not
obviously-
just me saying, yeah, you got to get ceramic coated, because they might not even get it done by me.
Yeah.
But for ease of cleaning moving forwards, it's a lot easier. You know,
Well, you've had yours done, haven't you?
Yeah.
We did yours, didn't we?
Yeah,
Darren?
you did.
How do you
Supported.
find cleaning yours?
It's fantastic.
Well, in fact, you were telling me the other day, didn't you? Obviously, he's got a GS and it broke down. So we had to have
Throttle
BMW
sensor.
assist come out, didn't you?
Yeah, but he did say it was nice looking.
That's what
Nice
I'm saying.
shine.
The guy who picked your bike up was saying he's into his detailing. And
Yeah,
looks
he's
after
into
stuff, and he
cars.
was asking
and
what
he
you
was
use, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was into cars, and he said, "What you use?" I said, "Well, it's been ceramic coated."
Yeah.
And the finish, the quality of it, even the dirt going on it doesn't, like you say, doesn't stick.
Yeah, it doesn't stick so much now.
It's almost used snow foam, and it just washes it away.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you only need to keep like your products pretty well diluted or pH neutral for one that's done. But yeah, it makes it a lot easier to clean. I mean, your anti-corrosion products are really good. You know, they're mint, especially if you're riding all year round through all the salt and everything. But they can be a little bit tacky. So stuff does stick to it, then it's harder to clean. And just a little wash off, it won't do much. So you've still got all the dirt stuck to that layer. So you'll clean it and you'll dry it off. It still looks a bit naff. That's because it's stuck to that layer. You don't get that with a ceramic because it's more hydrophobic for one. But it's basically just like a glass-like coating, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
What I find with because I use ACF 50 as well, what I find is it just leaves like a matte dot. You don't get the shine with it, do you, when you've washed your bike?
No.
Because you've still got that film there.
Yeah.
So it's also, of course, isn't it? It's protecting your bike,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
in summer you can get it off. Just use it like a light.
The trick is with it as well, if you're using an anti-corrosion product, is not to over-apply it. You'll see people that use a whole bloody can, you know, on
the
just
brakes.
Just the engine casing.
on the tyres. They look mint.
I'd have to use a product. See my bike.
I think she needs a training course now.
You'll have to get for some training.
No, nothing sticks to mine though because I've never cleaned it. So there's nothing on it.
Dear me.
Even the dirt, I'm not getting on that.
Yeah.
The dirt's refusing to go on.
She's got flies going back to 1990. hasn't she?
That's hard work. It's a 2023 bike.
They like to home. They're all named.
Pets.
So in conclusion then, if you've got the money and you're keeping your bike for a while, it's an investment.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, even if you've got a bike on PCP, so even if you're having it 2 years and then you're going to chop it in for something else, it will undoubtedly help with the resale value because the bike will be in better nick when you come to sell it.
Yeah.
You know, yes, it's expensive, but bikes aren't cheap now, are they? I mean, you can't buy a blooming sports bike for 8-9 grand like you used to. They're 20 upwards, aren't they?
Yeah.
So what is, you know, someone like myself, a new bike prep is 250 or 280, whichever coat you go for. It's nothing really, is it, when you consider how much that bike's just cost you?
Good investment.
Well, that's the same with the gear as well.
Exactly,
It's sort
yeah.
of like it's a luxury item to have, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
you're not going to go and buy a Panigale, are you? And then come in and want like a real cheap,
yeah, you
nasty
come in.
helmet.
Can I get that Ticini helmet, please?
Actually,
Yeah.
that's the next question, Leah, actually, is are budget helmets any good? Budget helmets.
Again, same thing you said with the horses for courses thing. I'm going to be semi-polite. I think a lot of the budget brands will go when the 2206 thing comes in and they won't actually get through the testing. But, I mean, it all depends how long you're going to spend on the bike. You know what? If you're a little courier who's riding a scooter, who's going all about town and whatever, and you're doing 20 mile an hour, just nipping through traffic and you're on the bike for a couple of hours a night, do I need to sell you a £700 helmet? No. So it depends what you intend on doing with that bike. If you're going to go, like we were saying before, touring, then you probably want the features that are going to come with a much lighter, much better featured helmet, really. So you're going to want a drop-down sun visor or a flip front or whatever. So it depends what you want to do sort of on the bike. And as well, it's kind of like, again, it depends what bike you're going for. If you're going out buying a £15,000 sports bike, are you really saying that your head's only worth putting 100 quid on top of that? Like, even if you write it in as part of your insurance in your head and say, right, I'm going to, it's whatever, 15 grand for the bike and the insurance is 1,200, just up it to 1,500 and put your helmet in it. Get a decent £300 helmet. It makes all the difference. If you're on a sports bike and you've got like a dead heavy helmet pulling your neck down, you're going to feel a mad difference.
What if you're on a Royal Enfield?
It don't really matter.
pudding basin.
you can get frying pans and like saucepans
Sorry,
stick one
just
on
get
his
out of
head.
the way.
Daddy just gone for the leather goggles and the white flag. The scarf coming out
Or the
your
scarf, yeah.
Right. And what about budget clothing? I'm going to move on from that.
You know what? I'd always say the most important piece of your kit is going to be your helmet. So if you really have to choose where you need to put your money into your helmet and a decent pair of gloves. You can always add your kit as you go along. You're going to end up walking into Gear to Go every couple of months and buying a pair of gloves anyway, because we won't let you leave, but essentially, without doing it. But you're always going to end up upgrading kit. And you know what? A jacket, really, you can get an £100 jacket and it's going to be all right. You can get like armoured shirts. You can get all sorts. You can get armoured jeans, obviously. Yeah. So you can actually dress, thank God, not like a complete biker. like people used to, where you're going out like an absolute spaceman in your 500 layers and your liners and that.
Your massive gauntlet gloves.
Yeah, so I think people are actually
still wears, Mike.
I've got Royal Enfield. So
Period, isn't it? Period features.
I think people
wax
don't.
barber jacket.
Oh, they're pretty nice. But I think people don't mind spending the money now that you can wear it out off the bike as well. Yeah. So if you have to spend £150 on a pair of Kevlar jeans, but you can wear them out every day, people don't hate it as much as obviously having to spend £200 on some big hefty jeans that they're going to wear once a week or whatever. So yeah, I'd always say put as much money into your kit as you can. But
you got to sort of budget that. If you know you're buying a new bike, you've got to budget for your kit as well, because it's really important.
I mean, it is an image thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, people who...
Well, for people who don't ride Royal Enfields.
There's no going back, is there?
Keep digging.
It's like a little ping pong game between everyone.
We must say there's nothing wrong with Royal Enfields. It's just the fact that Dale's got one.
Yeah,
but no, it's image though, isn't it? I mean, you guys that ride like your Bonnevilles and stuff, they ain't going to want like a one-piece suit, are they?
No.
They want like the smart type leather jackets and things like that. So
Kevlar jeans.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more around now, isn't there? Like, your shop's got some proper gear in.
Yeah, we have some gorgeous stuff.
You know, years ago, it was either you have a black leather jacket, black trousers, and a pair of boots, wasn't it? Or, you know.
Exactly. Ow. No, I think every single brand has kind of gone that more urban rider kind of way.
Yeah.
And you've got stuff like, I don't know if you guys know it, but like Merlin.
I know. I've got some Merlin gloves.
Merlin stuff is absolutely gorgeous. You can go out to the pub or go to the coffee shop in it, and you
Them
just,
shirts that you stock, them checked Merlin shirts, they're really cool.
they're beautiful. We can't stop selling them. Like honestly, must have sold 5 or 6 this weekend just because people go, oh, are they armoured? Yeah. So it's like, it's better than, like we were saying before, you get the odd person who just jumps on a bike in shorts and T-shirts, and you just like, there's no excuse for it nowadays.
No.
There just really isn't. It's just stupid.
And again, it's like, what sort of riding you're going to do, ain't it? Like, if you're doing some touring, you want some like adventure stuff, don't you? With vents and waterproofing, and so you've got something for all occasions, really.
Yeah.
But you add to it as well, don't you? It's like you don't go out every Friday night. Well, I do.
Well, when you walk in your garage, it's like walking in J&S. You've got that many jackets.
But that's what you build it up, don't you? Oh, I've changed my bike. I need a jacket with a bit of red in now.
Yeah, yeah.
So you just add to it all the time.
Yep.
No, that's just you.
Yeah. And Leah.
And me, I do it. I'm an easy target. When they come in with like new products, I'm just like, oh, sweet, yeah, I'll have 5 of those for the shop, and how much is mine?
So would you say the sort of retro style clothing's more popular now than like the base
100%.
leathers and that? Yeah.
Everything has got, again, I'm getting ragged on here, but yeah, everything has gone that more retro sort of style. Everybody wants some Kevlar jeans. Everybody wants like hoodies. They want shirts. They want stuff where they can get off the bike and go walk around and go have a look around places. So it's sort of like, you don't want to be riding through the Peak District to have a look at everything and get off and be walking around with a hump
Like a
on your
Power
back.
Ranger.
You just don't need it. And actually, who works with me he just lays into everybody who comes in the shop with like a race hump on. He's like, oh, you're going to get your like Sainsbury's shopping with that? So they go around. And it's not practical, is it, for that? If you're doing track days, like I was saying before, by all means get the best leathers that you can and throw yourself around a little bit. But it's for every day, if you just want to go down to Matlock Bath and get a coffee, you look a bit of a tool, don't you?
It's great when they come in with the one-piece leather.
Have you noticed how nice you've been dead quiet during this conversation?
What, with this one piece of race leathers?
Yeah, it's up the loft now. It's a bit snug.
Well, it's great when
You buy a bigger size, didn't you?
Oh, I went for a 2-piece instead. I mean, in fairness, yeah, you can look a bit daft in a one-piece suit, but personally, when I was on the bike, I felt the most protected. Yeah. In it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
if it gives you confidence, then
and on the bike it is comfy. Walking around is a nightmare, and when you want to go to the bog, is an absolute.
Like you say, it's what you want to do though. Because if you're going out and you're just going for a ride around the Peak District, then leathers are perfect. I'm sat in leathers. Like it's like they're perfect for that. But
the 2-piece gives you a better option, so you can just
jeans and
pop the
jeans
jacket
and a
off if you're going for a brew or whatever, or just sitting down chilling, and then you just got your jeans on. I mean, they still get warm, obviously, but I think protection-wise, leather's always the best, isn't it?
And with the 2-piece as well, obviously, you can still
full
do
zip.
a complete zip all the way around. You can still do track days and things like that. People seem to think that you can't.
Yeah.
But
they've got to have the zip all the way around,
all
haven't they?
the way
Not just
round.
the back section.
Yeah.
it's the best thing about leathers is when they got the knee sliders on, the scratches seem to go the opposite way than what it would actually on the floor.
Yeah.
Have you seen them at the walls?
Yeah. I go grind it. Oh, it's gone the wrong way. Oh,
I rub mine up and down the drive. I run and dive on my knees.
well, I bought some for a track day from DH Autos. And I said to Dennis when I bought them, I said, if I don't get my knee down, can I bring them back for a full refund?
Just get friendly with the racer and have his spare ones.
So we've got another question. How do you become a motorcycle instructor?
Good question. Best way to do it is get in touch with your local ATB.
Yep.
Or approved training body. So how it works is you get in touch with the ATB, tell them what you're looking for, what you want to do, and then the idea from there is you'll observe a number of CBTs because your training is based around 2 parts: your CBT element, which is the start of your license, if you like, and then the DAS side, which is the big bikes. That's the easiest way to describe it.
They have to be riding so long before they can become an instructor.
Minimum 3 years, full license minimum 3 years.
Yeah.
And then you'll go to the ATB, you'll observe for a while and make your own notes. Because that's the other thing as well, you learn more when you make your own notes.
Can't you reach that one, Ad?
Can't reach that one.
On this chair, mate.
Adam's trying to adjust the GoPro and he's got short people problems.
Really?
Dig.
Pot and kettle.
Yeah.
I'll believe you've got Yoda on
So,
your leg.
yeah, just get in
Can't
touch with
use
your
the
local
force.
training
that's
body.
it.
Yeah, so get in touch with your local training body, and then you'll observe, and then there's a point where you become what they class as a down-trained instructor.
Yeah.
You get a licence, and then you'll be assessed by the DVSA to make sure you're doing it to a certain standard. Then eventually you'll end up going to Chadderton
Right.
to be assessed by the DVSA. Once you've got that ticket, then you move on to your DAS. So it could be a long process. Obviously, you and I have both done it.
Yeah.
It could be a long process, but the more experience you get by observing and doing little elements of the training, because that's the thing, you don't have to do the whole thing. You'll have the person that's observing you or assisting you might say, well, you have a go at talking about helmets.
Yeah.
Have a chat about the helmet part, and then you bring in other bits into it once you've got a bit of confidence.
Cool.
So it's very rewarding, especially when you've got people coming through that thank you for it, because we've noticed a big shift in the people coming through now or after the full license.
Is it very challenging as well?
It's very challenging, very interesting. You meet some very nice people. So yeah, it's good. It's a fantastic, in my case, a part-time position.
Cool.
Which is good. Yeah, really good. But local ATB is the one I'd tell them go to.
So if you're looking to do that, then just get in touch with your local training body.
But there is a commitment to it. You have to put the time into get approved.
Cool. We've got one last question. This one's for you, Nige. Cleaning spoked wheels is a pain in the ass. Any products or tips to make life easier?
No, none. Buy one with cast wheels.
Buy alloys.
Simple. Oh, God. Spoke wheels are a pain in the arse. There's no real easy way of doing it. You got to take the time to do each individual one, really. So get a brush that's like the bog brush type, the wheel brushes. That's the quickest way. So blast it through. And then there's very, very rare now that spokes are like proper stainless steel or chrome. They're bloody monkey metal, aren't they? They're so cheaply made. That goes for all bikes as well, doesn't it? So
Not just Royal Enfields.
No, not just that. They're probably better than some of the Triumphs and Beamers and stuff, yeah.
I thought they were straw.
Probably are. Stronger. And then I would get like an anti-corrosion product like we were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Cut a little section of microfiber and sort of douse the microfiber in this anti-corrosion product, whichever one it may be, and just rub it down each individual spoke and leave it at that.
So there's no quick fix, really.
No. And some of them, like, not dissing the brand in any way, because I'm a Yamaha fan, but like the 700 Tenere is a nightmare. It doesn't matter what you put on it, they still come through. It's like it comes from inside the metal, if you know what I mean. Doesn't matter what you've done, and I've used everything on them.
Is that quite a normal problem with the
nowadays? Yeah.
Somebody that I knew who comes in the shop actually just ended up, I think he had a brand new one. He's only had it a couple of months and it's already started rusting on the wheels. So he's taking it back and they're sorting it.
Nothing you can do.
Right.
Some Triumphs are the same. I've done bobbers and stuff that have already started furring up. It's one of them, unfortunately. Bike prices have gone up, but the quality has dipped a little bit.
Yeah.
Particularly on that sort of side of things. So some of the fasteners and things like that, they're so cheap. They just fur up as soon as they see a bit of moisture or anything like that. There's nothing really you can do to stop it unless you want to change all the bits. So you've got to have your wheels respoked with proper stainless spokes, and it's going to cost you God knows how much. Same with the bolts. Put stainless ones in or titanium ones in. It's going to cost you a few quid, but if you're that keen on it, what's a few £100 really?
What about cleaning spokes then? Like if you got like chain lube, you get a lot of chain lube on your back spoke, especially like rear wheel. What's the best thing?
So if it's a chain driven one, you'd need the degreaser. So a perfect one, like obviously what you sell, chain and sprocket degreaser, which is perfect.
So you can pick that up from Leahs Place.
You can. Just be careful with some of the wheels. Chrome and anodized finishes, do a little test patch so you make sure it's not going to knacker the finish on it. It shouldn't do, because we have tested it a lot. We have. And no issues. If it's only a light splatter, you could use something like Jaffa Clean, which is ideal. It's a water-based degreaser, isn't it? So it's quite gentle. But on its own, it will leave a little bit of protection behind as well.
Yeah, that's quite good for removing like a light coating ACF or XCP as well.
Yeah, or even just like a very, very light splatter of chain lube. If it's just done, you've just done 20 mile or something.
Yeah.
It's not caked on your wheel, and you've washed it. Then just use a little bit of Jaffa Clean on a cloth. No pressure. Just wipe it off.
Cool. Well, have you guys any questions from your socials or anything that you want to answer? What about you, Leah? Keep it clean. Don't know what you
Put me
and
on
your
the spot
friends are
now.
like.
I can't remember
I
what
mean, we
questions
might
got.
have covered some in the area,
I
so I
think
don't know.
most of what I got asked that was clean enough to say actually pretty much got covered in what we said. I did have a couple of others, I think, but
What about you, Nigel? While Leah's just looking
have a
through
look.
it.
We were saying about them this morning, a couple, how to clean chrome.
Yeah.
There was another one on how to sort of keep on top of a bike after it's had the full shebang.
Yeah.
So chrome wise, if it's good condition, then you want to use something that's non-abrasive. So either a cherry glaze or the duo that you guys sell is ideal, and you can put any sort of sealant on it. Blends works quite well. The wheel sealant works quite well on chrome.
We don't do that anymore.
Don't you? Oh, that's good, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, a wax or anything like that you can put on top just to protect it.
A bit, something like that.
Yeah. If it's a little bit rougher and it's already swirled or pitted, you can use a metal polish, but don't use an abrasive metal polish on good quality chrome because it will scratch it.
Yeah.
What was the other one? How to keep on top of a bike once it's been coated. I think we touched on it earlier.
Yeah, we did.
So just keep products pH neutral and don't use anything overly aggressive. They do say, oh, will this ruin, like if you use like a solvent, like the chain and sprocket degreaser on the wheels after it's been ceramic coated, will it ruin my coating? Not straight away, no, but it will start to degrade it because it's a strong solvent. Same as tar and glue remover. It will start breaking it down over time. And the other one on back wheels in general, is if you've had tyres done and the garage never takes the wheel weight glue off, do they? Best way of doing it is tar and glue remover.
Yeah.
Obviously, I use Autobrites. Soak the little makeup pads, the cotton makeup pads. Soak.
Darren knows what you're on about.
Yeah. Are they the round ones, the scented ones?
They're the one, not scented. No, don't want scented. Nothing
pH
strong.
neutral.
Yeah, pH neutral. Yeah. Stick it on, leave it for a good 3 or 4 minutes, and it'll just fling straight off. Dead easy. You haven't got to scrub at it because you see a lot of people digging nails in or bloody blades on it.
I'd say makeup pads, but I think he uses tampons, really.
Who, me? I'll leave a reply for that, mate, after the podcast. With too many bleeps.
I know you get asked this regularly, Nige, and it's a bit of a thing with you. We get it all the time. Pressure washers on bikes, are they safe?
Yeah, if they're used correctly. So you will get people say, oh, you can't use that, you can't use this. You can just increase distance. Don't fire it into areas like radiators, wheel bearings, that's front and rear. Don't blast it straight up close to your chain because obviously you've got O-rings, X-rings, etc. Anywhere where there's electrical connectors, switch gear, and also on a lot of modern bikes, they've got like the LCD or TFT screens.
Pressure washing that.
Yeah, they do. You'd be surprised. They cover them in blooming snow foam and all sorts. And if, like today, it's quite a warm day, they dry, you've got to then put something quite strong on to get the watermarks off.
I mean,
so
you
just
could
cover it up.
Yeah, the phrase, you could bag it up, couldn't you?
Bag it up. Yeah.
But you could, couldn't you?
I do, yeah. So anything that's got like sat-nav brackets, stuff like that.
I'm glad you bag it up because you don't want any more gingers in this wheel.
I thought you had a few kids already.
One.
Oh, right. Yeah. You learnt your lesson then.
I've got my mini ginge. But yeah, bag them up. That's the best way. And then you don't get any water ingress. The last thing you want is water getting in any of those, especially on the switch gear. Because if it starts, getting a bad contact, chances are there's a load of moisture and damp in there. I mean, you don't need to cover them up because, you're riding the rain. They are waterproof to a degree, but you're not.
Ride in the rain?
Yeah.
Can you?
I did the other week. Shock horror.
We did all around Scotland last year, didn't we?
For sure.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
This is the thing though, isn't it? They'll say, oh, no, you can't use that. Well, when you're doing, 70 mile an hour, we'll keep it legal on a motorway and it's rain, How hard's that water hitting the bike? Probably not as hard as a pressure washer will at distance.
Yeah.
So they are perfectly safe.
Yeah.
Just don't fire it in.
Just common sense.
Common sense.
Or seek some advice.
So you've just said don't fire it in and bag it up. That's your advice.
Yeah.
Pretty much summed it up. What about you, Darren? Have you had any questions, common questions, what you get asked as an instructor advanced rider?
The most common question is how long does it take me past my test? That's probably one of the most common ones. Or how many lessons do I need?
I suppose that comes down to the individual, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's the individual. If you take the average, you're looking at about 8 lessons.
Okay.
And if you take 8 lessons, 24 hours. So if you start at 8 o'clock this morning, you can have your test done by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Win-win.
What the waiting times like for tests now? If people are thinking of doing,
It depends because obviously you've got the 3 parts to your test. Haven't you? You've got your theory,
Yeah.
which you can book, or the ATB can book. You've got your module 1, module 2. It's the timing. You can actually have your module 1 and module 2 on the same day, but if you fail your module 1, you lose your module 2 fees. So it depends on timing. You get a lot of schools, training schools, that will block book for the month.
Yeah.
They might buy 30. They don't use them. They sell them back to the test centre or give them back to the test centre, and then somebody else picks them up.
Cool.
So it's difficult.
Yeah.
And again, we do a number of things like intensive courses or lessons. So intensive course might be 5, 6, 7 days. And within that period, your tests are pre-booked.
Yeah.
So
I did that.
Yeah,
I
you have your training.
I thought that was dead good because you don't have the breaks in between where you sort of lose everything that you're learning, and it's kind of just a quick.
And with your attention span.
Yeah, I knew that. No, it was just sort of a quick 4 or 5 days, whatever it was at the time, and it sort of keeps you focused on what you actually want to do. So all you're doing is learning for your test, and then you're done, aren't you?
And then you learn from there when you've passed, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. That's you actually do the most learning though after you pass.
Yeah.
Like obviously you give you all the stuff that you need and you put it into practice. Same as the car test. Like you put it.
You're basically teaching someone how to pass a test, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's it. You give them the basics, and it's like go from there. And then, like you say, then you've got the post test training if people want it.
Yeah.
One of the questions I asked a student yesterday, it was quite interesting. We were talking about it, and he said to me, Is it better for me to have my CBT, get my own bike and ride for a period of time, or my CBT and do lessons? And that again, that's down to the individual. It's down to their budgets.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say about this, doing your CBT, then getting your own bike and riding on the road for a period of time, is be careful the bad habits that you pick up. Because any bad habits you pick up, we have to break them and start from scratch.
Yeah.
So there is that part of it. So
it swings around about.
Yeah, it's down to the individual. And like we said before, a lot of people take a while to pick up the skills.
Yeah.
And predominantly it's clutch and throttle. They're the main ones you've got to learn. But once you've got them, all the other things that are added in terms of your braking, your balancing, and your foot down, all that starts to become.
You don't even think about it, do you? Once you start, once you start getting into
Like
the
a muscle
routine.
memory,
Yeah,
isn't it?
It's like
exactly.
breathing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't think I'd pass nowadays, though. What about you, Dale?
I'd pass. Easy.
Would you?
Yeah,
I don't think
pass.
I would.
No minors.
Well, I've done my mod 1 about 200 times, and I'd once had a certificate.
So you've not actually passed.
I've
got my test coming up.
They asked what one bike everybody would love to own. Your favourite, like absolute dream bike.
Go on then.
Me?
Yeah.
I would probably have. I mean, there's always going to be a couple, but probably Panigale. I think I would want next, or I'd go back to an S1000RR. I like small bikes.
I think it's odd choose, isn't it? Because there's always a couple of bikes that people want, isn't there? What about you, Nigel?
I was going to say, what's yours?
Mine.
Royal Enfield.
I'd love one of the new Rocket 3s.
Interceptor R.
Yeah, I've got mine. No,
CB125.
the Triumph Rocket 3, the new one.
That'd be a dream bike, would it?
Really?
Yeah, I really like them. Yeah.
Army.
Wow.
What about you, Carl?
Carl.
Carl,
Carl.
Edit that bit.
We've only been here an hour and 10 minutes.
Because you were mentioning a guy called Carl earlier on.
It's been nearly 2 hours. We'll be wrapping it up soon.
Yeah.
well, obviously I've been riding lots of bikes over the years. If I'm being honest,
He's got his dream
I've got
bike.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
What's your bike again?
I ride the GS
dear.
Adventure. No, you don't want to. You pressed the wrong one.
Yeah, that's not the button to press for a
That's
DS.
not the one. Leah's just pressed the wrong button.
You pressed the right button, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That backfired, didn't it?
It did a little bit, yeah.
The mine would be Honda RC30.
Wow.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say Yamaha or something.
No, Honda RC30. I do like, late 80s, early 90s sports bikes. But I mean, an RC30 to bike now, what, 50 grand probably? Something like that.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't even want to ride it, just want to look at it.
Just park it in your living room.
Yeah. I do like the older stuff. It's something about a bit of character, isn't it?
Yeah.
There was no electronical gadgets or gizmos on them proper bikes.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming down, guys. I think we'll better wrap this up now because we've been babbling on. We have got our bike meet on the 2nd of July. So if anyone's interested in local, pop down to Autobrite HQ. All the details will be in the description of the podcast, and we'll be advertising on our socials as well. If you're in the Maxfield area, pop in, see Leah and Ant. Leah will make you an average coffee.
You'll get bullied.
Yeah, I mean, that's standard. We've got a bike night ourselves as well on the 31st of this month. And then every month we do the last Wednesday of the month.
And where's that at, Leah?
Sports bike shop.
No, it's not.
Kids go.
What's the postcode?
It is SK117NJ.
Like I say, we'll put all the details in the bottom of the podcast as well. Same with Nige. We'll put all those details in. What you up to, Nige? Anything? Are you coming down for our bike meets?
Yeah, probably. I mean, even if I've got the little one, I'll bring him down because he likes to walk around the bike. So I shall dig him and the missus out.
Yeah,
cool. Have a wander around. But if not, I'll be on my bike if it starts.
Cool. What about you, Dad?
It's not raining.
If you're not working.
Yeah, if I'm not working, I'll come down and do it. Yeah.
Cool.
Anything like that.
Be great to see you all here.
Good atmosphere.
Great. Well, thanks everyone. It's been great. It's been a lot longer than we planned. We've been nearly 2 hours babbling on about bikes. So I hope you've enjoyed this one.
I was going to have another shave. I've been here that long.
Yeah.
Same.
And you, Leah.
Thanks, Leah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Nige.
Thanking you.
And thanks, Darren.
Cheers, Dale.
Okay, catch you soon, guys. Catch you on the next podcast.